Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning. Please put your hands in front of your heart. Hello. Please bow. So, thank you for coming. Another Sunday, another time. Sorry for the short notice. I had to accommodate everyone. Everyone needs. And sometimes it's you shifting time, sometimes it's my family shifting time to make these teachings available for everyone. So thank you. Mhm. We can make a short practice before the talk if you would like to join. But just few words before that. Um, for most of people have um, only 30 minutes a day. It's very rare to find people who actually sit for 1 hour a day. And what came out with discussions with my students is that 30 minutes a day and they cannot, what they think have a calm mind. They cannot attain in 30 minutes serenity. And I would say that it's very difficult indeed if you just sit 30 minutes a day, especially if all the rest of the day you are not mindful, right? And mindfulness, if you practice meditation early in the morning, then you have to start mindfulness practice in all the activity you do before the sitting. So it's kind of preparation. So as soon as you wake up, boop, you have to remember to be mindful, to remember to bring the attention into the body. But most of the time, when we open the eyes on the morning, for most of people, it's oh, oh no, or Monday, or have the to-do list comes up to mind, and we start planning, organizing, blaming ourselves or feeling tired and things like this, right? So if you can just remember when you open your eyes or preparing mindfulness, body is lying down, feeling sensitive to the breath. So you start to shift the habits of the mind. And as well, maybe a shift that you can implement is to, this is not because you think about the organization, that the organization of the day will be better. This I've realized for myself. Things get done somehow because the mind is, when there is less clutter, when you think less in advance about what has to be done, actually because there is less chatter, less clutter in the mind, then when the task must be done, it will be done. And there will be less forgetfulness about what to do. So lying down, knowing that you are lying down, sitting on the bed, on the edge of the bed, knowing that you are sitting, feeling inside the body, feeling the breath, right? Then standing up, knowing that you are standing up. Take your time. Take your time. And again, some most probably in mind will go into preparing for the day. What has to be done, who we have to talk to. Well, this is not really necessary right now. So it's like for a moment, actually, when it's not yet needed, you've just woken up. You do not think about the world, let's say. If you are just, your world is this, right? Your world is this. The world will be quite okay without you for a while. You know that when you go to intensive meditation retreat for 8 days or more, where you cannot communicate, you cannot speak, you cannot use your cell phone, then the world keeps turning, without you. Same every day, every morning, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. The world doesn't need you. So keep your attention into the body. All right? All that time until you go to formal sitting meditation. Also, while having breakfast, just be mindful of everything you do, even chewing, even tasting, what it is how does it feel in the stomach when you drink something. I'm like just repeating over and over the same thing, but actually it's so simple. It is so simple, but it's so powerful at the same time. This is how your sitting will change, because you apply this very simple instruction, right? And at the beginning, you will be all right, aware, paying attention when just at the beginning of the movement, and maybe at the end, oh yeah, I have to remember that, to be present when I drink. All right, then it becomes more and more continuous. And why? Because when you apply this attentiveness in the simple things you do, then there are some qualities that will appear and some qualities of the mind that will disappear. And the qualities of the mind that will disappear will then help you when you sit in meditation. Because when you pay attention to actually what you are doing, then you do not think about what you don't have, what you should have, what you must do, what you can't do, and all kind of other desires and ideas, how life should be, how people should be, and how unfair is the world, and so on. So this, because you forget about all this should, must, could, and so on, just by doing this very simple thing, then this is how serenity arises. And it will continue while sitting. And that means that you realize that you have quite a lot of time actually to practice. All right. Also, when you put your clothes on, when you do your hair or makeup, or you realize that there are many times during the day when you are actually alone. And you can apply mindfulness. Oh yeah, remember, I have to be in the body. I have to watch how the body moves. And you will also realize that it doesn't take much energy, much less than thinking machine, organizing what can't be organized. It's quite trying to have control on something that we have not. And because the mind tried to organize, to find a way to have controls on the events, most of the time the events will unfold completely differently than what you imagine. So somehow it's a waste of time. Then you can also live life as if it's just a surprise. Surprise, surprise. I don't know, train is not there, train is not on time. Surprise, surprise, I have a flat tire this morning, and so on and so on. And you just laugh because you cannot control those things, right? Imagine if you have planned already your day and then you arrive on the parking lot. Okay, it will be completely different than what I expected to be. So just a waste of time of organizing everything. And then when you sit, we will start the practice in a short moment, but when you sit, then tell yourself again, maybe, yeah, the world will be fine without me for the next 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes. And I will be fine without the world as well. It doesn't have to be very elaborated thinking, it can be just a note. It's really forgetting about the world. It's not rejecting it, right? It's just mentally noting that for that short moment of practice, the attention will not be towards mundane activities, right? That doesn't mean that the mind will not continue its work, but maybe it can help, right? Because there is a kind, the mind activity, because there is energy brought into thinking, and this energy gets time to dissolve. So it's not a switch, right? So if there is some energy rising up, maybe I don't know, in the brain or into the thinking activity, then it takes time to dissolve. And when you sit, then there is still energy there. So the process can return quite quickly, actually, because this is the natural process of the mind. Then it will keep going what it knows how to do. This is why if you have only 30 minutes and you do not practice mindfulness before, then it might take those 30 minutes to actually relax this thinking activity. So you prepare. So you prepare before, and it starts also before you sit. when you sit down, you are mindful, okay? You are mindful of the body, how the body sits down, how the leg crossed, how the arms are arranged on the body. Okay, it starts in those very 5 minutes. These 30 seconds of changing posture, being aware of changing posture. It sounds silly, but most of the time we don't do it. Sit. Calm. Oh no. All right, so preparing for the sitting. Also, what you can do is to, if you are 30 minutes, then you can take maybe 5 or 10 minutes to do walking meditation just before. And then continue the practice, come down and sit. And realize already that by changing posture from walking to sitting, what changes, right? Then you sit like we are doing now. You take your, I invite you to take your sitting posture and to close your eyes. Find a comfortable position where you can stay alert for some time. You can sit on a chair. Or cross-legged on a cushion on the floor. You can lie down if you like. You can make this mental note. For the time I'm sitting, I would put aside all concerns regarding the world and others. I'll dedicate this time in mindfulness practice, mindfulness of breathing. Any kind of organization, solving problems is postponed for a while. You can feel your entire body sitting there. The foot on the floor, the legs, the belly, the back, the torso, the back of the torso, shoulders, arms, neck, head, in front of the body, on the back of the body, left and right, both, all around. feeling the entire body. And one can take the breath as our meditation theme. We can try to relax the diaphragm down and do belly breathing, paying attention to the movement of the belly, rising and falling. Most of the time we think, I must watch the breath, but the breath happens by itself, so there is really nothing to do. It will feel first as if you are breathing, until you can relax a bit this awareness of breathing. And you realize that the breath happens by itself. And usually when there is this realization, then the breath gets way smoother. You stay with the breath during inhalation, and you stay with the breath during the full exhalation. If the mind wanders, you bring it back. Oh, remember the breath. There is nothing to do right now, nothing to get. Just spend some time with your best friend, the breath. You can stay with the full inhalation from beginning, middle, and end, full length of exhalation, beginning, middle, and end. Start over. Apply, the mind is applied to the full extent of in-breath and to the full extent of out-breath. Trying not to skip any moment of watching the breath. Bring it back to the moment-to-moment observation of the breath. Inviting ease, enjoyment, joy might arise when the watching of the breath is continuous. If something is calling the attention away from the breath, notice that and bring it back. Gently, gently, softly. Ah, my friend, the breath. If pleasant feelings, rapture arises, you can expand it, diffuse it into the entire body, from head to toes. Breathing with the entire body. Making this body bliss. Utterly blissful. And if it's not there yet, well, okay. Sticking to the movement of falling and rising moment to moment. And whenever you're ready, take your time. A few minutes, 5 minutes. Prepare to come out of the meditation. And slowly, slowly invite your eyes to open again. Invite the visual field to enter. When there is this observation, awareness, and breath, and when the two starts to stick together, there but there will be strong, pleasant feeling arising in the body. It's rapture. First and second jhana, very bodily, very blissful for the body. And the first time it happens, it's really like something that you've never experienced before. Can be very, very strong when the two stick together. Because the mind has the habit to go to the seeing something, hearing something, tasting, grabbing, thinking, and so on, to all the maker kind of it goes to all the senses in order to know about the environment, to know how the different tasks, to think about, to organize, imagine, prepare, and so on. So when you stick your attention to the breath, so at the beginning touches the breath, and if this is from the beginning of inhalation to the end of inhalation, so let's say it's a time axis, then the mind will come here, then go to thinking, then come back, then go to hearing, and then the breath, come back, and then go to thinking, and then the breath, and go to pain in the body, the breath. You kind of where two other senses, let's say, meanwhile the breath is going on, right? But at some point, if you really apply this sticking attention moment to the breath. It's a bit of effort at the beginning, to be very honest. And it might feel like a bit strenuous. I'm not sure I'm using this English word properly, but I think it's this one. So, and then, hearing, come back. Yeah, then, exhalation. It's something else. Then up, pain in the body, come back. So, and to start with the absorption, with concentration, then you have to stick back. Don't judge yourself if the mind is going to another sense to do something else, and even if it lasts for 1 or 2 minutes of an awareness, let's say, then you come back, stick again. And it really took me a while to be absorbed and to understand that this sticking at every moment is actually kind important at the beginning. It's the training the access concentration, so previous to absorption. And you stick to one breath, one inhalation, then it becomes more continuous. Exhalation, going back, coming back. Breath. And then at some point, because there is this kind of continuity, you can the mind starts really to relax. And then instead of being like, yeah, I have to stick with the breath, then, okay, because the qualities of the minds are changing, and then, you can invite ease, it becomes smooth. Because the mind realizes, the heart realizes, sensing, that's quite agreeable feeling. Finally, to not go all this movement changing to all the senses. This I haven't sensed before. And then it becomes like this, let's say, this kind of movement. And then there is rapture, bliss, and a joy coming, rising in the body. And you can, if you find a way to do it, I cannot explain it with words, but this rapture, bliss, you can really expand it through the whole body, like the whole body is breathing with this very, very good feeling. And it's also inner joy. It's the second jhana, samadhi, concentration. And we say it's immersion or absorption because this awareness, the mind really stick with the breath, and then the breath kind of disappear to make rise to this very strong, pleasant feeling that you can suffuse through the body. It's like immersing yourself into the ocean and being really kind of suffused by this very strong, pleasant bodily feelings. And this is this inner joy. You realize when it happens that this inner joy does not need anything else than that. Right? It doesn't need any special outer conditions. Remember, at the beginning of the seed, you've put aside all worldly concerns. You sit, apply a bit of effort, then it suffuses inner joy for free. and it can be reproduced every day, right? This is not the goal of the spiritual path, all right? Having bodily rapture. Yeah. The goal is enlightenment. So the cutting off of the defilement of the mind, freedom from bondage and from renewed existence. But we need this inner joy. We need this inner peace, serenity, tranquility. Because when we get out of this immersion absorption state, then the mind is more malleable to see things clearly. And then you can apply this mind to insight practice, looking at impermanence, suffering, and not self, of any kind of phenomena arising. This is the development of insight, of understanding. There is other states of after the second jhana, the second absorption jhana, absorption state. You will see that the more, let's say, you go up into the jhanas, the more there is something that is let go of. So you will find that, okay, this inner bliss is still very bodily, and there is another state that is more peaceful than that. And to access it, you have to let go of something. Well, something has to be let go of. All right. But this kind of tranquility of the mind is quite helpful if you want to do insight practice. Because this quality of mind has nothing to do with the mind of daily life. And you would see that then this mind which is serene then helps you afterwards for mundane activities. But if you develop concentration very, very strong and go to higher absorption states, then it might be difficult then to come back and to do very, very mundane activity. I was developing the jhanas, and then I had to do kung fu training, which is really bodily, really physical exercises. And I had to apply some forms, some routines. And because I had spent so much time in the immaterial states, that it was very difficult then to come back and to perform those routines. Afterwards, mind wouldn't want to remember the moves, and I was just left like I forgot of all of what I had learned. So one has to know also what there is some not lingering effect, but the mind might take some time to go back to its most let's say, mundane states. All right. And when this inner joy is obtained, when the jhana starts, samadhi, concentration, this is when the five hindrances are gone. If you enter the first jhanas, the five hindrances, if I remember, so sensual desires, ill will, restlessness and worries, skeptical doubt, and sloth and torpor. Those five are not invading the mind when you are in samadhi. This is the condition to enter samadhi. Those fives are gone. So when you manage to reach samadhi with mindfulness of breathing, then you realize the quality of the mind. When you come out of this meditation, you realize how it is to have such a mind and how it is to have one of those, how it feels. And then you start to see, okay, you start to think, really, I really would like to abandon those, like definitely, like forever. I don't want them to re-emerge because I know how they feel, right? It's like day and night. Because you felt this inner peace, you say, okay, maybe I have to change something. Maybe I have to change habits, the way I cultivate the mind. Because those, oh God, oh God, very difficult, very painful. All right. And when you say, okay, I have to learn, where do they come from? When, what, how do they arise? Why? What's the origin? Right? What's the origin of this? Those five there. What I can be really at peace, but those, oh, I have to pay attention to which finger I point up. All right. Yeah. Oh, this one is. Oh no, my life is so painful. Okay. And then this is when you start to have some motivation. Okay, let's develop understanding, wisdom. What were they saying about ill will? Okay, how do I how do I cut off? I don't want it to come back. All right, there is this kind of desire that's arises. It will motivate to understand, and then you always come back with the four noble truths. And the four noble truths, as there is suffering, right? They can take many forms, but it's easy to remember those five hindrances. All right, there is suffering, there is the origin of suffering, which is craving for sensual desires and craving to be reborn, craving for existence, and its counterpart, craving for non-existence. And with the cessation of craving, there is a cessation of suffering. And what's the way to stop that craving is the Noble Eightfold Path. So craving. And I wanted to talk about craving for existence, but it's already time. So I will keep it for next time. Craving for existence really needs some contemplation. That we have to realize how, because it looks like a concept or something that's difficult to. Okay, and this is in the Four Noble Truth. Okay, craving for sensual desires, quite easy to understand. Craving for existence. Mhm. So next topic for next time. And I thank you for your attention. And I'm gonna ring the bell 3 times. All right, you're free to go if you need to go. And you can also unmute yourself if you have any questions. I'll stay a few more minutes.